Well, I just got off the radio. I'm not kidding, not 15, 20 seconds ago. I was on WLIP.com. Uh, well, it's a live radio station, WLIP, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And it's always a lot of fun. I'm a regular guest on the Happenings radio program. The owners of the radio station, they do radio for 3 hours a day, and it must be a hoot for them, Frank and Kim Carmichael. And then their assistant, Rihanna, is also on the radio too. And it was a pretty good show today. You just never know what Frank's going to ask, and I had a lot of fun. So it's if you and the mistake I made, just so you know, is I had promised myself that here on the live stream I would let you know the next time I was going to be on the air, and I failed yesterday to look ahead in my calendar to see that I was going to be on today. So I this is why you should be on my newsletter list, because what I did is about 15 minutes before I went on the air, I sent out a really quick alert to my newsletter subscribers saying, "Hey, going to be on the air in a few minutes. Here, go here, do this, click this, listen live, blah blah blah." So because they stream the show live on the internet. So anyway, if you got to listen, great. If you didn't, maybe next time. But once again, it's always a good idea to subscribe to my newsletter. It's free. Just go to the homepage of Ask the Builder, askthebuilder.com. Right on the center of the homepage, put in your name, email address, make sure the email address is correct. Click submit, then go check your email, find the confirmation email, open it up, click the link, boom, you're done. It's really simple. Simulator YouTuber, how you doing? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We had I think, just a fantastic stream yesterday. It was what I really liked about yesterday. We had more viewers, which was always good, but the variety of questions that were coming in were just amazing. Really, really great questions, and that has all along been my vision for the live stream was to just be here. And here's why. So years ago, this is really directly connected to what I just did. Back in 1994, which seems like a long time ago, I started my radio career. And for 12 years, I did a 2-hour live call-in radio show. And for quite a few of those years, I actually ran the board, which was a lot of fun. I like electronics. And what I loved about the radio show, here's what I loved about doing live radio, is that I had no idea what the callers were going to ask, that none of it was scripted. You just asked me a question live, and it was almost like being in a cage fight or a gladiator battle in the Coliseum, where here we've got people listening, and I can't sit there on the radio and go, well, let me think about that. I'll circle back with you. That seems to be a favorite line right now. Anyway, crutch word. So you can't do that. You can't do that on live radio. I mean, if you don't know the answer, then just say you don't know the answer. But if you know the answer, then boom, blurt it out. And most of the time I knew the answer. And if I didn't know the answer, I knew where to send the caller to get the answer. That's what's really fun about this live stream is you typing in your questions, and so I can answer them. That's what makes the live stream go, just so you know. Right now, though, we're going to talk about a bunch of things today. We're going to talk about Slate Flooring in just a minute, and I'll tell you why we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about, I started to share this yesterday, and I got distracted, but it's kind of ties back into a live stream from last Wednesday or Thursday, about inflation and how inflation was going to cause problems it's going to make the homeless situation here in the United States much, much worse. And I found an article on a news service that basically confirmed it. It's already happening. But let's get started first with Slate Flooring. And once again, if you have questions about anything about your home, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be roofing. It could be building a shed. It could be a plumbing question. I don't care what it is. Just type it in the chat. I'll do my best to answer you. Here's what happened. A week ago, I got this is about Slate Flooring. I received a request from one of my newsletter subscribers. His name was Victor, and he wanted to do a he wanted to do a phone consult with me. I do these phone consults, and they're a lot of fun too. And the problem was his daughter lives in a house in Brooklyn Heights, right there by New York City, and she had some strange staining happening in her engineered floor, and she's got a ground level unit. He sent me a couple of pictures. They were a little fuzzy, and I told him, I said, look, I said, you need to get some better photos, blah, blah, blah. And then we jumped on a call. And yesterday we were on the call, and it didn't take long. Once I started to ask some questions and get more information from him, I discovered he thought the problem was a leak in the radiant floor. It turns out, I'm convinced 99% that it was water coming in underneath the door that goes out to an outdoor patio. And I said, you need to shoot a video of this situation, and then we need to do another phone call. And he said, fine. He shot the video yesterday afternoon. He sent it to me. He scheduled the other call for this morning, and we had the second call. Hey, hello, Lynn. Oh, we're going to get rid of that link right now. You're a bad person. Stop those bad. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that. I'll do it myself. Let's see. Remove. We're going to hide. We're going to remove that. Oh, thank you, Will. You got to it before I did. Good for you. I didn't know you were here, Will. Okay, motorized. I'll answer your question in just a minute. Hello, Al. Hola to you. Once I watched the video, once I saw what the problem was, I told him one of the first things I said on the call this morning, and I think you'll really appreciate this. I said, I tend to look at problems like this maybe differently than other people. And I said, I like to look at what is the problem, what is the objection, and then go after what is the easiest and potentially cheapest way to solve that objection. So the objection was puffed up, swollen floor and stained flooring, and it's wood flooring. And so I said, okay. I said, we could try to work the problem out outside, but it's going to be extremely expensive because they built the patio wrong. I couldn't believe it. She had somebody, this is such a sad thing. This woman had people come in to put a paver patio in, and they put the paver patio, the top of the patio, flush with the level of the house inside. It's supposed to be down 6 inches. So when it rains and when it ponds, water flows underneath the door, and that's what's causing the problem. Long story short, I said to him, I said, you know what you ought to do? I said, I think you ought to cut out about a 5-foot section of the floor. And Victor was going to do this. He's handy. So 5 feet from the door going into the room, get rid of the flooring and go over about 7 feet and get rid of the hardwood, the engineered hardwood floor. It's laminate. It's just pressed sawdust, and replace it with a waterproof flooring material. And he said, well, what's that? Should I put down linoleum? I said, no. I said, it's got to be waterproof. And I said, the only waterproof flooring materials I know of are natural stone. And meaning if you set a natural stone product in thin set, which is concrete, cement, and it bonds to the concrete floor, which it's a concrete floor in this unit, it's waterproof. I mean, it's waterproof. And I then did this. This is what was important. He said, boy, I don't know what that would look like. He goes, I'm not quite sure that would look really good. And I said, I already know it's going to look good. And so while we were on the phone call, I typed this into I'm trying to get this thing. I'm trying to get this link for you. I typed into the search engine, um, the search string, and you can go look at these results. And what these are images. These are photos of where slate flooring is put next to wood flooring. And a lot of people don't realize you can mix flooring types, and you should mix flooring types because visually, it's really appealing. So you need to go to that link. Hey, Steve, how you doing? You need to go to that link. And I know Will can't do it for some odd reason. Will's not able, he can't click these links. It doesn't make sense to me. You go to that link and you look at some of those photos, they're going to blow you away. And when he started looking at the photos online and of the slate next to the hardwood floors, and he was blown away. He said, "Oh my gosh, this is going to look beautiful. It's going to work. It's going to solve the problem." Yes, it is. I know. That's why I told you to do it. Here's what you need to know about slate. First of all, slate is rock, and slate comes in different hardnesses, but most slate is very hard and it's very durable. It's a metamorphic rock. My college degree's in geology, and a lot of slate has a pretty high silica content in it, which means it's very hard and it's very durable. I mean, silica got a hardness of 7. All right. Steel's like 5.5. It's easy to put down. Slate there's nothing hard about it at all. I've got videos on my website that show you how it's called thin set on concrete. If you watch my thin set on concrete videos, it show you exactly how to put tile down. And so slate's the same thing. And then I have the 4 video series that shows you how to grout the slate. Really simple. Here's the best part is that not only is it durable, slate is pretty affordable. It's not that expensive. And it's waterproof. Okay, so it's a perfect flooring if you have a basement. And if I was remodeling a basement, I would probably put slate flooring in, or I would try to sell you on slate flooring. And then you could get area rugs, like the big braided rugs, or you can get these Oriental rugs that aren't too expensive. They're not super great Orientals. I mean, if you want a great Oriental, they're very expensive. But you can put area rugs down on a slate flooring to soften the noise, and they just look fantastic, is all I can tell you. So if you have questions about slate flooring, let me put the, I meant to, here we go. Here's the link you need to have. Here's a link to a great column on the website that shows you and tells you all about slate flooring. So go to this, go to that link and go to that page on my website, read all about it. Just type slate into my search engine. I must have 5 or 10 articles on the website about it, but that's a really good primer on slate flooring. Really good stuff. If you have questions, specific questions about slate flooring, just type them into the chat. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, Steve wants to know, and not motorized, I'm going to get to you in just a second. Do you not use slate for roofing instead of asphalt? Steve, we don't use slate here in America because it's so expensive for roofing. To give you an idea, I think the current price for slate installed is probably somewhere between $1,200 to $1,500 per square. And a square here in America, we refer that to as 100 square feet. So in your case, that would be, 9 square meters about. Asphalt, on the other hand, asphalt shingles, you can buy a square of asphalt shingles for about $90 in America right now. And you probably, on a new construction, or let's just say a re-roof, you may pay, $150 a square for labor, maybe a little bit more. So the slate is like 8 times more expensive. There are slate alternatives. You can buy, like my house, I have a slate alternative. It looks like slate, but it's actually plastic. It's called Da Vinci Roofscapes. And that's still pricey, like $400 a square for the material. And each one's got to be hand nailed. So it takes a little bit more time to put on. All right, let's go up to motorized. Best resource for building stair and loft rails with spindles. You might go to LJ Smith's website. So LJ Smith, try that. Will or Steve or somebody, if you could go online and type ljsmith.com, see if that doesn't take you to a website that sells handrails and spindles. And if it works, then come back and type it into the chat for Motorized to make sure. I just want to put the correct URL in. I don't want to mislead anyone. I would hope that LJ Smith has got a really good PDF file, maybe a few videos that would really help you do it, because they make the stuff. They make the best handrails, stair parts, spindles in America, bar none. They are the leader. So LJ Smith is who you want to go to. That would be my first source. What I want to warn you is that if you've never done this before, it is probably, I would say it's, let's get heating and air conditioning out of the way. So heating and air conditioning is the hardest mechanical aspect to do in the building construction industry, by far. By far. All right. So let's just get that off the table. Putting in a handrail from scratch is so flipping hard, you have no idea. If you don't have patience, if you don't have fantastic, thank you, Steve, thanks. If you don't have, amazing hand-eye coordination, you have to have incredible mathematics skills. You have here's the tolerance level. Let's just put it. Let's go to rough carpentry. If I'm doing a rough frame of a house, if I'm rough framing a house, some carpenters have different tolerance levels. Some really rough carpenters, to them, a quarter inch is close enough. To me, my tolerance level in rough carpentry is 1/8 of an inch, and I'm not happy if I'm out 1/8. All right, there's no reason why it shouldn't be close, like a 1/16. When you're working with stair parts, listen to me. When you're working with stair parts, the tolerance for measurement errors and cutting errors is 1/128th of an inch. You got that? That's half of 1/64th of an inch. You're talking the thickness of a pencil line, if that. All right. So if you can't produce that type of work, you better get somebody else who can, because you're going to ruin all the stair parts. Hello, Lorraine. It was, I'll talk about that in just a minute. I hope that answers your question, Motorized. I don't think it's the answer you wanted. LJ Smith is the go-to source for information. I just haven't been to their website in a long time. I can't tell you what kind of help guides they have, or videos, or instructional PDF files. I don't know, but I would hope that by now they would have created a lot of good ones. But they're the source. That's where I would go. Let me talk about Lorraine. So what that was kind of but that radio station is actually pretty close to you, isn't it? I mean, pretty close, somewhat close. Right there on the shore of Lake Michigan. That particular radio show today was kind of lame, if you ask me. I could tell right at the beginning, Frank was frustrated. He got pissed off. He got pissed off because his wife cut him off. I mean, I could just see he and his wife do that show. They've done it for years. So here's Frank rattling on and on and on. He's wasting time trying to introduce me, trying to be clever. And his wife, I could just see his wife probably in the studio, like shaking her head, like, shut up. Just say hi, Tim. And so she starts asking me the question. And Frank wasn't even done yet. It was hilarious. Oh, he got flustered. He was not a happy guy. But I don't know. I just know that Kim and Rihanna, they didn't touch my first answer to her question. They didn't even go there. Probably a smart idea. Anyway, so that was. I can tell you, Frank has a tendency to go way off topic. He'll ask me shamdemic questions. I mean, he and I don't see eye to eye on the shamdemic, and he'll ask me. Sometimes we jump a little bit into politics. It's really funny. We'll jump into politics. You know, I'll go wherever he wants to go. I don't care. It's his show. Whatever question he asks me, I'm going to answer. So it was, but it's still a lot of fun to do it. A lot of fun. But it's the sad thing is I'm at the end of the show, so they're running late. So I'm only on for 20 minutes most of the time, but that's okay. I appreciate the exposure. I hope they got a lot of new listeners today because I had sent that announcement out to my entire newsletter list. You know, it was very late, you know, right before the show, but maybe 50 or 100 other people on my newsletter list decided to listen. Anyway, crutch word. If you have a question about anything about your home, now's the time to type it into the chat because I don't want to say I'm running out of things to say, but I need to go hunting on my computer for this really interesting article that I meant to share yesterday and I did not share it, but I want to share it today. Oh, thank you, Will. Thank you. That was a fun story to write. The only thing I left out, and I had talked to Kathy about it, is I did not put in that story because it was hard for me to prove it. But I did not put in that story the fact that on the subway ride in, I sat next to 5 Antifa guys. All right, so that's the only thing missing from that story. Let me go try to find for you this article. And it's going to take me a little bit to find it, I think, unfortunately. Because I'm trying to think of, I know how to find it. I know an easy way to find it. Here we go. All right, here we go. I'm almost there. Stand by. Come on. Come on. This is not. Here we go. So here we go. I will. It's going to be worth the wait. Believe me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Well, I'm going to keep. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I thought that'd be much easier to find. There was an article about, and maybe you can find it for me, and I'll just describe it, and I'll just keep talking. Maybe you can find it. And I'm trying to scroll down through these results to make sure. All right, here's what it was. Last week, I was talking about how inflation is getting much worse, and it is, and that I predicted that it would cause a surge in homelessness because of rising rent prices and rising prices of everything, and that people were going to move to the warmer places in the United States, like Florida, Southern California. It's already out of control in Southern California and parts of Arizona. So I stumbled yesterday or Sunday, I think it was yesterday, I stumbled across this article on, I swear it was on Epoch Times, EPOCH Times.com. I swear that's where it was. And there was a word in it, a boon. There's a word, it's calling it boon something. Anyway, the article started out about this guy who had a clerical job in Phoenix, Arizona. He's retired. He didn't save money. He's on Social Security, and his rent went way up, and he was forced out of where he lived. And he just he sold off some of the stuff, put whatever he basically needed in his car, and then he went to Quartzsite, Arizona, where it's out in the desert. But they have this, evidently on some of these federal lands, there are places where recreational vehicle people can go, and you can do like long-term parking. I mean, parking for months at a time, very small fee, but that it's just starting to get overrun with people like this man who, who, who just can't afford to live in a regular house. So they're living out of their cars, or they're living out of their pickup trucks, or they're living out of beat up trailers that they buy, like a camping trailer, and they just go there and they just park it. And it was a very interesting, in-depth article. So if you can find it and you can paste the link to it here, that would be great. All right, I'm going to catch up on the comments. So if you can find that article for me, and I just remember that's why I was trying to search under Quartzsite, Arizona, because it was in that article that they mentioned that town. Lorene says, I did a quick test of the stain solver and I was happy with just a short time period. Is it okay to use on the silicone? Yes, stain solver is safe to use on silicone caulk, on the glass block, on ceramic tile grout. Here's all you really need to know about stain solver. Stain solver is safe to use on anything that you can wash with water, except there's a few exceptions. I would not use stain solver on sterling silver, because you got to keep in mind that stain solver is an oxidizer. So what it's going to do, like if you just leave sterling silver alone, eventually it tarnishes and turns black, right? So then you have to get out the polish and polish it before all the guests come. Well, stain solver will turn sterling silver black, all right, because it oxidizes it, because that's what the black is. When you just leave sterling silver in your drawer, it oxidizes. It will do the same thing to unanodized aluminum. All right, so when aluminum oxidizes, it turns kind of a dark gray. You would not, the only other things you don't want to use stain silver on, don't use it on natural lamb's wool. So that like those lamb's wool skins that you might set a baby on, if they get dirty, if you wash those with stain solver, it kind of turns the wool like this funky yellow color. It's weird. And it kind of will do the same thing with natural silk. But most people don't have natural silk. But if you have, like, if I had a dyed wool vest on, like if this was wool and it was dyed with synthetic dyes, I could easily wash it with stain solver. It's not going to hurt or discolor the wool. So there's only a few things, and those are all on the FAQ page at stainsolver.com. But basically, just think of it this way: there's tens of thousands of things you can clean with stain solver that it's not going to hurt. All right, so just car mats, carpeting in your home, ceramic tile grout, granite countertops, concrete floors, any outdoor furniture, outdoor decks, outdoor patios, your kayaks, camping equipment, mildewed tents, mildewed sleeping bags, blah, 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 blah. I mean, the list is, there's thousands of things that are completely safe to clean with stain solver. It's fabric safe, it's color safe. All right. Steve says, do you use the same thin set mortar to put? Yes, you use the same thin set, identical. Just treat me like an illegal alien. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yes, stain solver is great. Works really, really well. It's a really one of the biggest mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in life, and as far as a business mistake in my life, if I could go back in time, what would happen? I would have changed direction. I probably wouldn't be on this live stream right now, because I would have put far more time into stain solver, the business, as I did Ask the Builder. It was just the opposite what I did. I put way too much time into Ask the Builder. And because I don't have a business degree, I did not really realize what I had with stain solver. So here's how, and you have to understand, I started stain solver back in 1995, which was the internet was in its infancy. I mean, I was one of the first, I could have been one of the first 1,000 people on the internet taking credit cards. maybe first 10,000. I mean, I was doing e-commerce in 1996. I had to teach people in Cincinnati. I had to teach the banks how to do it. Here's the deal, though. Most businesses, really, I would say any business would kill to have your name. Think about this. They would love to have your name, your phone number, your email address, your physical address. Are you kidding me? They would kill to have that. Well, I get that by default. In other words, if you're going to buy stain solver for me, you have to give me all that information. And why is it so valuable? Well, it's valuable because I can remarket to you. I could send you emails. I can call you on the phone. I can send you a postcard. All right. So think about it. You walk into, let's just say you walk into LL Bean in Freeport, Maine, like Will, he could walk into LL Bean. He could walk in there, go to the men's department, buy some flannel shirts. He puts them on the counter. He hands them cash, or he hands them his credit card, and they have no idea who he is. They have no idea. Even if you hand your credit card to them, they do not know your address. They don't know any of that. It's just that your credit card gets approved. So LL Bean would love to have your name and phone number. Anyway, so I don't get any of that with Ask the Builder. In other words, I have thousands and thousands of people come to the website each day. I have no idea who they are. That's a mistake. You want the names and you want the contact information of people that you interact with. Simple as that. Will, free EBT or credit cards with airplane or bus tickets to relatives anywhere? Yeah, I got it. Oh, I understand now. Yes, exactly. What the heck is wrong? What the heck is wrong with this country? That live stream yesterday was amazing, wasn't it? We had a lot of people on, a lot of really great questions, a lot of interesting comments. And the comments, you should go back to yesterday's live stream and read the comments. Very interesting. Okay, what do you want me to talk about? We got a handful of people here. What do you want me to talk about? Type it into the chat. 1 or 2 or 3 words. I really don't care. Ask me a question. What do you want me to talk about? I'll talk about it. I don't care. While I'm waiting for you to type, I will let you know. We're kind of getting up to a sad time here at the Carter house. My youngest daughter is going to be, she had moved out before, and then she had been working a couple of places. Then she worked in Puerto Rico from 2018 to 2020. And then she came home right as the shamdemic was starting. And she's been here since the shamdemic started. But she's moving out, and this is it. She's gone forever. I know this for a fact. There's not a doubt about it. She will be out of here. Wow. In less than 2 weeks. That's going to be pretty hard. I'll tell you that right now. Shannon's here. Hello, Shannon. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going to miss her big time. It's going to be really hard. There's going to be alligator tears when I drop her off at the airport. I'll be so choked up. I don't even know that I'll be able to talk. I get choked up thinking about it right now. So yeah, it's going to be really hard to drop her off at the airport. But you know what? I mean, it's part of being a parent, it's part of, seeing them go off and how cool is this? How cool is that that she's got this crazy job where she is a flight attendant on private jets. She gets paid big money to travel the world. I mean, it's almost incomprehensible. It's a dream she's had for a little bit. And so it's really cool from my stance as a parent to see one of my kids, set a goal and go, you know what, I want to do that, and then do it. But it's also hard at the same time. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that maybe on some of her trips, what's really cool is that we have an airport that's, I mean, gosh, it's only as the bird flies from my house. Well, it can't be more than 5 miles, if that. Laconia Airport. And Laconia Airport has all types of private jets come in. It's got a long runway. It can handle all types of private jets. And the reason why is many, many wealthy people own summer homes on Lake Winnipesaukee. And so they fly in the summertime on their private jets. And so maybe one day she'll fly in, she'll text me, she'll say, hey, Dad, come down to Laconia. We're going to be there such and such. And I may get to see her for a while. I don't know. Maybe they'll even have a layover here. I don't know. We'll see. Steve says, I'll come over and you can adopt me. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, here's the trouble, Steve. You would turn into an ice cube in the wintertime, man. You would. I mean, on some of our cold days, you would simply not believe it. So you would get really cold. Oh my gosh. But you would like it over here. I'll tell you that right now. You would really love New Hampshire. Our countryside, I'm sure, is a lot like what you have, probably 50, 60 miles north of London, would be my guess. Will's not giving up on this tow truck thing. I have to send you some videos that Will sent me, Steve. I'll do it after the live stream. Yes, I know you've got snow over there, Lorraine. We're going to get some snow here in a few days. Yeah, I would hate it. I know. It'd be so cold. What? We got propane. The house is warm. You'd be snug as a bug in a rug, buddy, inside. And look, your neighbors just to the north of you, Steve, all the Scandinavians, they have that old saying, there's no such thing as bad weather. There's just bad clothes. And I've actually written a lot about it and talked about it. When it gets really cold here, I'll typically wear long underwear, even though I'm inside. And, and LL Bean, I mean, Will and I are big fans of LL Bean. They make some incredible long underwear, very lightweight. It's not the clunky type of long underwear from, years ago. For women, they have silk underwear, long underwear, very comfortable. You'd be stunned how warm you'll be. And of course, what I've discovered, it's really key to wear a hat. So sometimes I'll wear a knit hat around the house, and just having a hat on can just make you feel warm. So anyway, I think you'd like it. You've not seen snow there yet. I find it hard to breathe in cold air. Well, there are some days here, like when it gets, I don't know, 5, 10 below zero, it hurts your lungs to breathe it in, man. It hurts. So, but we don't get that many days here. It doesn't stay cold like that very long. It's not that bad. Today, here in where I am right now, Steve, we're having what I would consider a typical London winter day. I can't do. I'm not really good at the off the cuff Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion, but it's 36 Fahrenheit here right now, which would mean must mean it's about 3 degrees Celsius. I think would be my guess. About 3 degrees Celsius. It's really overcast. There's no wind. It's going to start raining here in the next couple of hours. It's very dreary. It's just kind of what I picture London to be like in the wintertime. Will says, got insulated leather boots at Beans to work in Canada a while ago. I remember when you had snow in the middle of April. Yeah. Oh, no, that's very common. We can have snow here in April. We're supposed to get, I know you can't see it. Every time I hold my phone up to the screen, it doesn't work. So my forecast app says we're supposed to get 9 inches of snow. All right. So, Steve, that would be what? 9 inches. So 2.5, 20. So 24 centimeters. 24 centimeters of snow in on Thursday night through the day on Friday. So we'll see. And if we do, I'll take photos and share them. I'll take photos and maybe try to shoot a video of blowing the snow. Okay, it was 12 centigrade there today. So 12 centigrade's got to be, I would think, in the upper 40s. Here, let's see. Hey, Alexa, what is 12 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
12 degrees Celsius is 53.6 degrees.
Yeah, so 50 in the mid 50s. That mid 50s, Steve. Here, that would be t-shirt weather for us right now. I'm not kidding. People would be in a t-shirt and shorts in New Hampshire. All right. Okay, inches better than centimeters. Okay, good. All right, so I'll just do inches from now. So they say we're going to get 9 inches. We'll see. I don't know that I ever believe them. It's no big deal. 9 inches, I just shrug my shoulders at. No big deal. All right, it's like I only get concerned if it's going to be more than 14 or 16 inches. That's all. It just means that maybe I have to go out there twice. And also, it's late in the season here. The sun's starting to get high enough in the sky that we're getting, we can get days where it's above freezing, sunny, and if you don't do a perfect job, the sun will take care of it. But here where I live, and Will probably say the same thing, in December and January, you have to do a really good job of cleaning up after each storm. Because if you don't clean up all the snow and get it off, it'll turn to ice. And you might have ice for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's bad juju Macumbo. You don't want ice here. Okay, what would you like me to talk about? I really didn't come super prepared here today. I just thought I'd kind of wing it, see what was on your mind. And I'd talk about anything. I really don't care. I mean, if you want me to go away and say we don't need to do the live stream anymore, I'll do that too. It's whatever you want. I just thought that we would, I would kind of let you kind of run the show today. But it seems like you're empty on ideas too. So Lorraine, real quickly, what did you think of that Frank and Kim Carmichael kind of characters, huh? I love it when Frank talks about the mistakes he made on this live radio show I was on quickly. Lorraine was listening. Frank, the owner of the radio station, he also owns a newspaper. They run my column. He was telling a story about how his kitchen sink stopped up. He tried to use some drain cleaner. It didn't work. Went out and bought another one. The sink overflowed, and the chemical that he put in is so caustic, it ruined the countertop, it ruined the cabinet, ruined the floor. God only knows what it cost him. Could have been a $20,000 repair. And the sad thing is it all could have been avoided, so he was telling that quick story. Anyway, it was, I just, and what that kind of got us off on a very minor tangent about how I think the advertising for certain products is really unethical. And the drain cleaners are one, because what Kim said and Frank both, they make it look so easy. You just pour this stuff down and magic happens. Well, that's not how it works, because of a host of reasons, because of what's going on inside the pipes. And Steve says, what would you have to do to have a fish pond? So I have a fish pond. We have a fish pond here next to the house. I don't heat it in the wintertime. I don't know what it would cost to heat. I don't know. Probably you'd spend $2 a day heating it would be my guess. Um, we don't so much keep fish in it, but there's frogs that are attracted to the water, so we just let it freeze. Um, we do have Kathy really loves the birds. She feeds the birds down by her window, and so we have a bird bath that has got a heater built into it. Um, so that's really cheap to run, though. I imagine that the heater for the bird bath is only, I don't know, a nickel a day, if that, in electricity. Maybe not even that. All right, here's Jim. How would you recommend cleaning a roof? Planning on copper strips or cement, you want to clean first. Okay. Well, so I've got a video. I took all kinds of heat from people about this. I recorded a video. Boy, it was a long time ago. Probably, could have been 18 years ago. Back at my house in Cincinnati, I had part of my roof had a lot of moss and lichens on it. I used a pressure washer on this asphalt shingle roof. I used the right tip. I used a 20-degree tip, and I held it the right distance away, and it was just enough to clean the roof. And I was constantly checking to make sure I was not dislodging any of the little granules, the colored granules. So you can use a pressure washer on your roof, on an asphalt shingle roof. You just have to be really careful. You have to really know what you're doing. If you don't do that, then you can use my stain solver. Stain solver. If you just go to stainsolver.com, so here's stain solver. Go to stain solver and type into the search engine roof, ROOF, and there should be 2 or 3 articles there, and you'll see before and after photos of people who have cleaned their roof using stain solver. So, and I tell you on there how to do it, and I've got videos there to show you how to do it. So that's how you would do it. Will says, my wife's uncle here in Maine had a goldfish pond where he took the fishing during the winter. Yeah, that would be the best thing to do. Lorraine says, I like the radio show. When she asked about men who don't know how to things, laughter. I know, that was pretty funny. I don't know if she picked up on my, do you think Kim understood what I meant when I said scarcity? It was a pretty dangerous thing for me to say. All right. I know that, but I've done the show enough times that, anyway. All right. I hope she kept checking the plug. Oh yeah, Kathy. Oh yeah. She goes out to feed the birds every morning. So not a problem. It worked really well, even in the cold weather. I mean, we had it got down to like minus 7 below zero. So Steve, that must be, oh man, I don't know what that is. -7 below zero here. That'd be 39 degrees below Celsius. That would have to be minus, I don't know, like minus 19 Celsius would be my guess. That's cold, dude. Well, you can't use antifreeze in the bird bath. They're going to kill the birds drinking it. Come on. I don't know, Lorraine. You say you can do easy things, but anything with saws and building is beyond us. I don't know. You heard what I had to say about Zoe. It's, what I was, you have such a short amount of time on that radio show. I could talk for a long time about things, but a lot of it is attitude. And that's what I tried to say with that one sentence. I tried to say, it's not that anything is actually really that hard to do. You just need to know some of the tricks and tips. And even like using a saw. So, if you've not been trained how to cut with a circular saw and cut a straight line, I can see where it might be a little challenging. But if I was to show you and you would go, are you serious? It can't be that easy to do. I would go, it's that easy. It's that easy. And so all of a sudden you would cut 1 or 2 times, the cuts would be perfect, and your confidence level would go from here to here. And that's all that building is. It's a matter of just building that confidence. And that's all you got to do. So DJ, I do not understand your cryptic 1 and 2 word comments. So please, the item. Show more so I can screenshot. I don't know what I am supposed to be showing. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, no worries. I don't understand what you want me to do. And I using the stupid YouTube interface, they don't let me share my screen. They don't let me drop photos in. Or if they do, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to change that. Once my daughter is out of here, I'm gonna move to a different location in the house, set up a different studio, have a green screen. We're going to have some fun with a green screen, and I'm going to get new software. I'm going to stop. I'm going to still stream on my channel, but I'm going to use different software that allows me to drop pictures and other things into the video. Even have guests on. I could potentially even tap in Steve or somebody else. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, maybe about cleaning the roof, I would think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she might have been referring to Frank about that. Yeah, she might have been. He did admit though that he was all fingers, but anyway, I understand it when some people, if you don't have the confidence to do something, you don't want to try, but you just start with little jobs and just start pushing the envelope. Just keep pushing the envelope. I'm just talking about the cleaning solution. I was a power washer in the painting union. Oh, okay. All right. So got it. All right. Well, so if you already know how to use power washers, you already know about the different tips. You already know you use the wrong tip on asphalt shingles, you'll burn a hole right through them. I mean, no problem. But you use a 25-degree tip, a 20-degree tip, even a 40-degree, you can clean asphalt shingles depending on what the stain is. It's just a matter of testing it out, doing all it is. The stain solver is definitely a harder way to go. What's the difference? Steve wants to know what's the difference between a plumber and a master plumber. So Steve, that's a good question. I would say that here in America, a master plumber has to demonstrate greater knowledge of the trade, and you are tested on it. So in the city of Cincinnati, where I was licensed master, I had to sit for an exam, and the exam, to me it wasn't hard because some of the people who were plumbers, they might not have done well in school, and as long as they have a pretty good grasp of the code, then they could probably pass. Although their two-part exam, the venting diagram is extremely difficult, and if you don't understand the venting, you're not going to do it. So a young plumber, so just say a regular plumber here in America who's only been doing it 6 months, maybe a year, if you sat him down at the table and put the exam in front of him, there's no way that he would pass that exam. There's no way he would get his license, his master's license. So I think the simple answer is it's really no different than hundreds of years ago with all of the craftsmen over in England and Britain. Like what makes a master silversmith, or what makes a master clockmaker, or a master carpenter? It's that person who can exhibit and who can prove and demonstrate that he has mastered the craft. So I think that's the definition. All right. So I hope that answers the question. So here in America, you have to pass an exam. You have to, and it's, the exam is like 3-4 hours long. It's, you don't sit down in 10 minutes and take this test. I can tell you that right now. The what did I want to tell you? I see nobody went and found that article. I swear I'll find that article on Epoch Times. And about the homelessness, and I'm telling you, it's going to get a lot worse. It's crazy. And now, with all this crazy stuff going on, this whole thing about Russia and the Ukraine, it's like it's just causing mayhem and the marketplace. I mean, the price of oil's going up, the price of gasoline's going up. It's like, this is a rhetorical question. And maybe it's because I'm not a student of world politics, but what the heck do we care about Ukraine for? I mean, Ukraine may be critical to Steve for energy reasons, but I mean, what products does Ukraine make that we have to have? I mean, are they some? You get my point? In other words, what the hell do we care about? Why would we care? Why would the people in Argentina care if Russia invades Ukraine? Who cares? It's the Game of Thrones, all right? So we've talked about that here. The Game of Thrones, it's happening all the time. I mean, it's happening all the time. All right, so it's just a real live version. All right. Oh, so that's a great question. So, Steve, do you know the U.S. recognized city? So I think what you consider a guild over in the UK, that would be kind of I was watching my daughter come in. Roughly equivalent to our unions. In other words, here in the United States, we have unions, and it's a long story about unions, but I think that's the same as guilds there in the UK. It's about as close as we could get. Will says, can you use stain solver to clean? Absolutely. Go to stain solver, Will, or go to stainsolver.com, Will, and type in coffee. Actually, I'll just do it for you. Because I know there's some great before and after photos. I mean, of coffee mugs. Here's the best part. Here's how simple it is. All you have to do is take the coffee mug, fill it with warm water, hot or cold water. I'm sorry, just hot water. I'm pulling up that thing right now, and yeah, I've got a video right here. So here's one. You can kind of see it's a before and after shot in one photo, but and there are other people. There's other pages that there's other pages on the website. Oh, I know, Will. You can't. The links don't work for you. Sorry about that. Just go to stainsolver.com and type coffee in the search engine. Here's all you got to do. You fill your coffee mug to the brim with hot water. I don't mean boiling hot water, just tap water out of the sink. And then you just, if it's a regular size mug, that would be no more than 16 ounces. All I would put in would be maybe a half a teaspoon. You don't need much. You just dump a half a teaspoon of stain solver into the water and you walk away and just leave it sit overnight. Come back the next morning, dump it out, rinse it out, look at it. It's going to look brand new. You don't even have to scrub it. Motorized says, you're welcome. Good for you. If you can produce that level of quality, I'm going to tell you right now, from experience, you want to make test cuts. You want to test everything before you cut the actual oak handrail. That's all I can tell you. You want to, you have to make sure all of your saw blades are brand new. You have to cut really slowly if you're using a miter box saw. I mean, everything's got to be perfect. Everything's got to be perfect. Got to be perfect. Yes, Steve. Yes. It's all part of the WF agenda. Exactly. Yes. Yes. It all is. It's all the cabal. It's all, I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I'll just say again real quickly. I just finished about a week ago that Plandemic book by Mickey Willis. If you've not read Mickey Willis's Plandemic book, you need to. It's very short. And at the end of the book, I was both a little depressed and a mixture of depression and anger because I was so upset about how all of us have been played for the last 50 to 70 years. It's horrible. It's horrible. Okay, Lorene, good night. Stay warm in that snowstorm. It's great that you're here. Thanks for listening on the radio show. Glad you could tune in. I'll try to remember to do it, give everybody more warning next time, and maybe Frank will ask me more interesting questions. It wasn't that great of a show today, so don't judge it on what you heard today. Sometimes they're very animated shows, and if I'm on the muscle, it's really good. Anyway, all right. At least I got the light on today, and it's getting a little dusky here. It's we're going to have rain here shortly. I think it actually has started raining. I see some rain on the window. We're supposed to get maybe 3/4 of an inch, and it's going to be warm through the night. So, all right. I don't have much else to say unless if you've got other questions. If you've got some questions about your home, now's the time to ask. Last call. I'm happy to answer. Yeah, Steve. I know. I got stuff I can do too. Thanks for being here, Steve. It's great. I hope I didn't bore you to death today. I just wasn't a lot of hot button topics, But you had some great questions. Your questions are always great. Wow, you got such great questions, man, oh man. So if you have questions about your own home, this is the last call. We've got people, watching. So go ahead and type your question in the chat before I get out of here. I'm happy to help you. That's the purpose of the live stream, is for me to help you save time and money. It's that simple, and that's going to become more important each day we go down the timeline. I'm telling you, there's going to be so much pain and suffering in the next 5 to 10 years, you are just not going to believe it. You are not going to believe it. Okay, Motorized, keep us abreast of that stairway project. All I can tell you is that it is so flipping difficult. And you always have to remember this. Just keep in mind like if you were to put a straight edge across the nosing of your stairs. All right, so think about that. Like put a 2x4 that's perfectly straight and it's resting on the nosing of each stair tread. That's exactly the angle that the handrail has to be. In other words, the handrail is supposed to be exactly parallel with the nosing of the stair treads. And every staircase is different. I mean, one of the first things you have to do in the project is you have to make a pitch block, is what they're called. And you have to go through and you have to measure all of your steps, because if you have like 2 sets of steps, like if you have an L-shaped staircase, there's no guarantee that the 2 staircases are the same. Can you believe that? They could be off. So you just cannot believe how detailed it is. You have to take all these measurements. You got to verify that all of the risers are the same. I mean, it's crazy. And where the posts go, like you just can't randomly put a newel post at some point. I mean, if you shift a post like at the top of the steps or at the bottom of the steps, if you just shift it a ½ inch front or backwards, it makes a huge difference. I mean, it's crazy. You just have no idea how complex all this is. Okay, good for you. Will, Well, after the live stream, just send me an email, would you, about your coffee mug? Just send me an email is all I'm going to tell you. Motorized. I would send you pictures. I would love to see the photos of this staircase job. I would love to see them. Wow, 60 cents a can. That's crazy. That is insane. If you get into motorized, if you get into trouble, remember I do phone consult calls. They're very affordable. And one phone call, you send me some photos, I might be able to save you so much time and prevent you from making a $500 mistake. All right. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Just know that I offer that service. So Lorene's back. Phone calls. Giant bags of dog food. Everything's going up. I'm telling you. It's horrible. Shannon. Oh my gosh. We've gone down to talking about dog food. If my dog was still alive, Lady the dog, that would be good. Science diet. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, come on. 180-pound dog. That's not a dog. That's a flipping horse. It's a pony. 180 pounds. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, I'm out of here. Will, make sure I'll email you. You email me right after the stream here. Drive old cars. I don't have it. Well, I'll tell you this, Shannon. If you haven't been paying attention, the price of new cars. I just saw a news story today. They're now car manufacturers. This might be the first time in history. They're charging more than the MSRP. So if the sticker price is $39,000 for a car in the old days, you might be able to buy it for $33,000. Now you're going to pay $41,000. And used car prices out of sight. Used car prices are through the roof. My truck, get this. I'm looking out the window at my truck. It's in really beautiful shape. I take really, really good care of my truck. And I just had some body work done on it back in the fall, and the guy did a beautiful job. Beautiful job. It's a 2009 Ford F-250 4x4. I paid $33,000 for it. 2009. All right. So what is that? So it's 13 years old, 14 years old, 145,000 miles on it, I think, maybe 146. Never been in an accident. It's got a few very minor body scratches. That's all. But mechanically, it's in fantastic shape. Hardly no rust underneath. I mean, I take really good care of it. I think I could sell it right now for $21,000. That's crazy. $21,000 for a used 14-year-old vehicle. Truck. All right. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks very much for being here today. I'll be here tomorrow. I will find that story about Quartzsite, Arizona. I swear. I'll go through my history and find it. I just think it's a really neat story you need to read. And you need to share this. The reason I keep bringing this story up, it's something that's predicting it's already happening on a smaller scale. It's going to happen on a bigger scale. And it's kind of a wake-up call to people. And for some people, it's too late. For some people, it's way too late. It's a sad, sad deal. But anyway, crutch word. I'll be here tomorrow. I hope you will be too. Pass the good word about the live stream. Hit the like button. We didn't get that many likes today. I can see why. Maybe it wasn't that great of a stream. I get it. All right. I get it. Well, I'll do better next time. I did not hear from Alex today, so he must be having a really good time skiing. So maybe I'll hear from him later. Okay. Shannon, bye. Will, bye. Lorene, bye. Steve's already gone. Motorized, good luck on that rail job. It's not easy, but good luck. All right, I'm Tim Carter. You've been watching Ask the Builder. live stream, and I'll be back here tomorrow.